Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today, if you're looking for a competitive, overgrown Snapvine deck, then look no further, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm coming off like a snake oils salesman, but I actually have a competitive, overgrown Snapvine list. In fact, I've had a list like this for a while now. It's not the first time I showcased the archetype known as Snapvines. Sorry, as a deck on my channel. In fact, I showcased a deck similar to this not too long ago, but now that the overgrown Snapvine has been buffed, I was really itching to revisit this archetype, and I have actually upgraded it significantly. It's quite different than it was before. The prior version used to run Maokai, amongst other things. This one is more fine-tuned, and if I say so, actually much better than before. So if you guys want to try out an actual strong list with this new card, well, new card, technically new since it got buffed, then you're really going to enjoy this bad boy. So let me explain a little bit what this deck is about. First of all, why we're only running 3 champions, because this is a very highly synergistic deck. It's like the same reasoning why I don't run champions in my Undying Bilgewater deck, right? In this particular case, at least does happen to synergize with our strategy significantly, but there's no other champion that I would really like to incorporate. I was thinking about Maokai. I used to run Maokai before because having Maokai on the board means that when you play Overgrown Snapvine, you will be generating a sapling that will convert into an overgrown Snapvine. So it's a nice way to ensure that Snapvines gets going, right, and starts spreading. But ultimately, I found out that it wasn't really worth it, even though there's also synergy between Maokai and Professor Von Jip, because they're both 4-drops. It can be a little bit clunky to set them both up. And overall, I figured that the deck would be better off without him, and instead would have a higher emphasis on death engines, as I like to call them. Basically, cards like Neverglade Collector. What is another card that is like Neverglade Collector? Well, Phantom Prankster, aka his little sister, I would assume. So they are both there to capitalize on our deaths, and we are going to be triggering many deaths in this deck when we set up the overgrown Snapvine. But in order to make a deck built around a card like this, especially such a highly synergistic deck work, we need to make it so that the deck can actually function and win without ever drawing overgrown Snapvine, which is why we have multiple synergies going on in this build, and why it's proven to be as consistent as it has been for me. So first of all, the initial idea is we want to use Overgrown Snapvine. So Overgrown Snapvine says, when you summon a follower, kill it to summon an Overgrown Snapvine. It got buffed from 4 attack to 5 attack, which makes a big difference considering you're getting multiple copies of this thing across your board, right? So now we can actually threaten lethal way easier with more attack than before. So this is like actually a massive buff to the card, and I really like the fact that they went with this. It's actually one of the buffs that I was most excited about, and it really does help out this deck. So the Overgrown Snapvine starts going off, right? When we play one, every single time we summon a follower, we will be killing that follower, and it will be summoning an Overgrown Snapvine in its place. It's like a virus, right? It just keeps spreading, and once you get going and it multiplies enough, there's no stopping it really, unless you have a full-on board wipe, right? Or a vaccine or something. So with Overgrown Snapvine here, once we have one on the board, we have many ways to generate bodies, not only for a very cheap price regarding mana, but also we can generate them at burst speed. That's why we have, and that's why we're combining this with Piltover to begin with, because we have access to Jury Rig. This is one of the most key cards in this deck, because with Jury Rig, what I can do is I can summon a Scrap Scuttler, which is a 1 mana 1/1, at burst speed for 1 mana. This means that if I play Overgrown Snapvine and my opponent directs a removal towards it, I can react at burst speed and create another Overgrown Snapvine without my opponent having the ability to interact with that play. And that is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. In Legends of Runeterra, being able to sneak around interaction like that, big deal. I'll repeat the same phrase again because I can't think of synonyms. So really massive detail right there. So not only do we have Jury Rig, but we also have Crawling Sensation. We have Vile Feast, and we have the likes of Haunted Relic. We also have Use Cask Salesman, which will summon 2 Caustic Cask, which means that he will translate into 3 Overgrown Snapvines, and will translate into 3 deaths as well in just one play, which will allow us to spread our Overgrown Snapvines and from just one 7-mana play, fill up the board with them. But in order to really benefit from these cards, we also need to have some engines that allow us to ping at the opponent every time we are killing a unit. And because every time we're playing a summoner with this thing on the board, a unit is dying in the process, we will be able to deal massive damage with a preset Neverglade Collector or a Phantom Prankster. We try to develop these on the board before we commit the Overgrown Snapvine, because from that point onwards, the damage really does stack up, and it gives us a very, like, it makes our Overgrown Snapvine a legitimate win condition that goes beyond just attacking. Not only are we threatening the opponent by attacking with all of them and wanting them to die because we have these guys on the board, but also every time we summon more and more, we're also dealing direct damage, and that goes to like a very fast beatdown of the opposing Nexus. But like I said, we want to be able to win if we don't draw Overgrown Snapvine, so that's why, or that's where rather, the Professor Von Jip synergy comes in. We're running 2 copies of Professor Von Jip because I don't feel like 3 is enough. I've seen so many decks built around this card that are just purely meme decks. Like, they're playing Poros and they're actually like dropping 1-drops from their hand, and not really the most, not the smartest way to play this card. This card is actually pretty legit in a Spider deck. I've said this for a long time now. Professor Von Jip is actually good, not meme, but good with Spiderlings, because we are able to play cards like Crawling Sensation, and with Professor Von Jip we get 2 3/3 Spiderling bodies. We're able to play the Hapless Aristocrat and have a 3/3 that spawns a 3/3 upon dying for 1 mana. We're able to summon a Spiderling after attacking with Elise that will get the boosts as well. As also, it will allow us to create a Snapvine out of it too, which is really cool too. So all these early game cards and everything about this deck synergizes both with Von Jip and Overgrown Snapvine, and also allows us to apply pressure with Elise early on in the game, as a full set of Crawling Sensation makes leveling her up relatively easy, as that way we are able to really tackle our opponent through different angles and friend them in different ways, as we pair this up with some really strong card draw with a full set of Glimpse Beyond and a couple of Stalking Shadows. The reason why we're playing a one-off of Frenzy Skitterer instead of like a second copy of Haunted Relic is precisely because of Stalking Shadows. We have a total of 20 followers in this deck, which means that half of our deck are followers, and I want to keep it that way so that we minimize the amount of times that we'll be playing Stalking Shadows and not picking anything up. It's not likely, but it will happen every now and then. It does happen to me, like 1 every like 6 games or something, but by running 20 and having a one-off of this, I like that approach, and I'd rather have a one-off of Skitterer instead of like 3 copies of Used Cast Salesman, because sometimes I have a very easy time filling up the board with units, and I don't really benefit from having multiple copies of Cast Salesman. Like 2 is the right number for this card as well, in case you are wondering. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the deck list right there. Ravenous Butcher really helps us out, clearing some space for Snapvines while also triggering the Phantom Prankster and Neverglade Collector, which can just become win conditions on their own. And that may happen in today's video as well. And like I mentioned prior, Vengeance for some sort of interaction alongside Vile Feast. And that is the deck list right there. Very, very proud of this build. Incredibly fun to play as well, and surprisingly efficient at that. So I'm going to let the gameplay speak for itself. I think you guys are going to enjoy today's matches. Let me know what you think. Try it out. And I just hope you enjoy the video, man. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Free is good, and I will stop talking. Have a solid day. Enjoy the games. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, here we go. Let's see if this deck works. It could be the greatest thing ever, or just an absolute disaster. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. We're gonna keep the Neverglade Collector, because we are attacking second. I actually like keeping the Frenzy Skitterer as well, as like a defensive mechanism here. And Vile Feast naturally, since we are facing an aggressive deck. I also want to keep the Neverglade Collector in my hand. I mentioned that prior, but I didn't explain why. This gains me life. I think that's pretty self-explanatory why that's important. And of course, we got the most annoying of battle pets. And smug and everything. Like, what is your redeeming quality, Von Jip? I'm not a cat person. I mean, I don't dislike cats, but I really like dogs. So maybe that does make me a little bit biased, but he's just annoying, man. But you know, Professor Von Jip really wanted him on board, so I couldn't really say much. I'm gonna pass here. Carry over my spell mana. Now that we've seen that, I mean, I would like to hold on here, to be completely honest, because I want to have this Vile Feast with Professor Von Jip here, so I'm actually going to let that happen. Going down to 13. Is this a mistake? Probably. Let's not be foolish. Let's do this. I should have done this. I'm an idiot. I know. I am gonna go for the Stalking Shadows. And get nothing. Fantastic. Nice.
Time for the main event.
I love it.
Is he here yet? Oh man.
I'm gonna attack. Block me.
I stand for Noxus!
Like this? Oh, I see.
Okay.
The people are my strength!
Alright, so I'm gonna weaken his overall attack here.
The blood glory!
Still taking a pretty decent hit here, but we are weakening his attack by quite a bit, and now we can go double. Crawling in my skin, these wolves, they will not heal. Let's go ahead and attack.
Does he do this?
Okay.
Even out.
Stalking Shadows not hitting anything really sucks, but it is one of the risks. I mean, that's why I run like a one-off of Frenzy Skitter. Hopefully Neverglade Collector can help me stay alive. He's very difficult for the opponent to remove, like it requires 2 different sources of damage to deal with him, which would otherwise be directed at my face. So regardless of what happens here, he will allow me to get health.
Rules are made to be broken. Like buildings. Or people.
You should try blinking sometime.
Yeah, I'm still gonna be on the defensive here, like I have
If
not
I
blocked.
fall, so be it!
We'll definitely be sending my strongest health units here. Okay, so you, and you.
Now we're cooking.
Okay, that'll leave me at 7, alright. Can I get there with Overgrown Snapvine? I should be able to, okay.
Come out and play.
I am ready.
I thought I was already perfect.
Actually going to pass here because I have a feeling this man has a get excited. He does. Oh my god, I called the shit out of that.
Everyone goes boom!
That's huge. That's huge. I knew it. I knew it. I knew he had it. I knew he was holding on to it. And now the fact that he leveled up Draven actually worked against him. We're gonna go for the Stalking Shadows now. And we do 5 units, baby! We take the Hapless Aristocrat. Fuck yeah. And we get going. Snapvines time, baby! Nothing top deck could kill here. Woo! Alright, you can level up.
Now we're cooking.
Oh, now we're cooking. Now we're cooking, alright. We'll see who cooks who. Bitch! Let's go hapless again.
Really? Where are you?
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Attack with these 4. Keep 1 Snapvine in the back. And just lethal him.
Fate brings us together.
Oh, that was so hot, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, that read, though. That was game winning. Like, not dropping the Snapvine because I knew he had to get excited. I knew he was holding on to that. He telegraphed it pretty hard. And that read actually won us the game.
Out.
Boom. There we go. No Snapvine, you know, victory speech. I would assume it's something like. And yeah. Nice. Let's move on to round 2. Okay, so Yasuo Thresh. All right. I'm gonna keep 1 overgrown Snapvine. And I do like the idea of keeping a Neverglade Collector as well in my opener. Even though it is a bit of a greedy hand in a way, because we're keeping like what is basically our late game. I feel like in this kind of matchup, this is the type of strategy you have to go for. Von YIPP, seriously. Von YIPP,
I know what love.
You're a bit of a diva, you know that, Von YIPP? You don't even let me talk, dude. It's not all about you. Right, bruh?
We could use a bite.
I'm gonna go with the open attack here with Elise, get some damage on him. Every ounce of damage really matters, especially... I mean, I guess less so in a matchup like this. Yeah, it's fine. I do want to set up the Phantom Prankster, though. I could go for the Elise level up, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'd rather wait for Von YIPP to go for Crawling Sensation. We're still not gonna turn for Thresh, because Thresh is definitely going to be threatening this. Which is why we want to get some value out of her early on.
Like this? Oh, I see.
I mean, I may as well like develop as much as I can. You know, if he's not going to be doing anything. I'm gonna scare him off with my complex calculations. Make him know that it's all part of the plan. Alright. He's burning a lot of mana there.
Very risky indeed.
I do like the idea of playing this though. I mean, I could just wait up a little bit. I could just play you. Because if he plays Thresh, I can drop you. Yeah.
Lady Elise, where are you?
A pretty present you'll make.
Definitely want to continue applying the pressure with your boy, Von YIPP MVP. Alright. To be expected. I mean, I could definitely just work for the level up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do that now though, because if I summon a Spiderling right now, there's no space. Something like that, yeah. Set up the Vile Feast.
A tribute to the Spider God.
That way we get to level up Elise.
Let me change into something more comfortable.
So that this way I can make him focus on this. Okay. Or not. Not even thinking about it. I'm developing the Neverglade Collector here. Because only a Vengeance can deal with that. And if he does resort to that, I can threaten lethal next turn with Elise. So... okay. That was an actual thresh spell. Okay, so that means he's going to be finishing this off. Or he probably has a... he probably has a Withering Whale. So we're doing this. I mean, am I really worried? I mean, okay, so if he Withering Whales... if he Withering Whales, he needs to combine that with something else, because otherwise I'm taking down everything here. I mean, I should probably deal with the Thresh, though. Because even if I... okay, so if I do target like this... if I do target like this, Withering Whale is enough to just keep him alive. I'm not really afraid of Yasuo here. I'm gonna go with this. Okay, so yeah, stun effect. He's low. I'm playing the Snapvine. So I have another Snapvine, so I'm using this one as a way to kind of like scout out a little bit. Make him worry. Eh. Love it. Yasuo is coming out. Our opponent needs to attack.
Sleep is for the guiltless.
And now we play the Neverglade. We're coming for you. Yeah, well, let me see how this turn pans out first. Because I definitely want to keep the Neverglade Collector in the back. Because I could just get a win with my Overgrown Snapvine. Because first he has to deal with this attack, right? Like, even if he directs 2 blockers here, I still easily represent lethal. Like, right now, he has... okay, he can stun there, but that still kills him. And I guess that does it. Oh, so much for thinking. Well, no Snapvines here. None needed. Professor Von Jip, I would say, was definitely the MVP of this match. Booyah. Ooh, okay. Nice. Von Jip works too. Alright, so they who endure. This matchup is going to be very, very interesting and tricky at the same time. I'm going to keep the Vengeance just to have an answer for they who endure later down the line. I'm going to drop the use cast Salesman. I'm going to keep the Stalking Shadows and Professor Von Jip in the opener. Even though there is an argument to be made for me trying to mulligan a little bit more aggressively for an earlier start, I feel like having Von Jip as I carry over my spell mana the first couple of turns is pretty ideal in this matchup. I can get some really surprise trades. Some English. I could get some English too while I'm at it. I don't like to rush the casting of Stalking Shadows because it really depends. Like, what I want depends on how the game pans out, right? So as long as I'm not being overly pressured, I don't have to rush this card. Frenzy Skitter can provide me with some defense. This card is actually putting in the work. As a one-off, it's really coming together. Like, the main... I probably explained this in the deck tech, but the main reason why I played this card is just to have an extra... like, to have a total of 20 followers so that I can play Stalking Shadows better because otherwise I would be running a second copy of Ancient Relic or Haunted Relic. I keep mixing up the name of that card actually. I'm gonna pass here as our opponent plays a Bark Beast. Stuff that I would not like to see. A Ravenous Butcher. Ravenous Butcher would really suck here. I have several options here actually. Like if my opponent just tries to go all in with a crazy attack, because he needs to start threatening here. Otherwise I'm going to just completely ignore this. If he plays Butcher, then I just go with this and I keep my mana for Professor Von Yip. But I would like the defense here. I'm gonna play you. Yeah, this Skitter is nice. Unless he has a Butcher, yeah, it just completely shuts him down. That's beautiful. I can also lead off an attack here. Get some chip damage on him. Thanks to my Fearsome.
We shall not rest until all betrayers pay.
And drop the Professor. Von Yip is inside. We have some jury rigs to work alongside him. Our opponent has not revealed. Yeah, he's confused. Bruh, you have no idea. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I'm far ahead of what you are capable, son. We want to limit the amount of deaths as much as possible. I do think I want to set up a jury rig though. Well, first of all, let's go for this. I will be going for you. And one jury rig. Mitigating the damage. Drink some juice. And yeah, playing Everglade. This matchup, like, they have very little interaction, so the odds of them having an answer for an Everglade are pretty low, and getting him in the board there is really, really key. As of right now, I think I'm fine. I'm content with just playing a hapless aristocrat like this.
That egg, did it move?
And passing. There's my Snapvines, baby. Ooh, there we go.
Lady Elise?
There we go. You could have a Ruination now that I think about it. I mean, if that's the case, I totally played into it. All part of the plan. Yeah, I mean, I could just Haunted Relic here. I have no more use for these though. My opponent may really be wanting to attack here. I mean, I'm not gonna. I've already spent my mana anyways. Next turn, I'll be leading off with an attack here. All right. I mean, he's gotta be a little bit aggressive here. Just his own revenge. Okay, so we actually want to block you and you, yeah. Gotta attack, bro. There we go. Let's block you and you. I want to get rid of Von Yip as well. Keep everything else. Yes. You guys ready for some magic? Let's get some magic going on here. We're going in. Snapvines! Assemble!
Go home!
Go home. Get the fuck out of here! Alright, I'll take it. I got double vengeance, so I'm ready. I'm back-to-back ready, baby. Back-to-back ready. English! For they who endure. Look at this beautiness, though. I just realized. You're evil as fuck, aren't you, Budget? You know what? You're grown on me. I think you and I are destined to be together. No. Yeah, but no. No. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Let's just keep. No. I feel so evil when I play this. It's great. Oh, get beat down, boy! Keeping the vengeance. Keeping the vengeance from game one, or turn one, or opening hand, really made the difference there. Fuck yeah. Okay. So, Pirate Aggro. Very, very scary deck, especially with the lack of nerfs to Bilgewater, except for the Petty Officer, one would say. I like this hand, though, honestly. Neverglade Collector is one of my main sources of health gain. Professor Von Jip with Jury Rig and Vile Feast looks really good. The problem is, obviously, the first 3 turns are going to be a little bit awkward, but then again, we do find the Hapless Aristocrat. And now that he reveals a 1-drop, we will be developing ours. And Von Jip, again, just you know. You're a bit of a cynic, buddy. It's like, meh, you are not worthy of my attention. We're gonna block here. We don't take any early damage, which is fantastic. And yeah, we're gonna pass here.
Fortune favors the bold.
I kind of want to drop you now. I can keep you. I mean, I can just Vile Feast you, but there's no point right now, really, I think. I could develop a body, but I'm gonna carry over all of my spell mana instead.
Keep up, keep up.
Like this? Oh, I
See. And I'm gonna try to surprise him with a burst speed 3/3 Jury Rig.
Through the coral.
And it looks like it may just work. Okay. That's neat. I'm gonna go for this. No, I'm gonna go for you. I'm gonna play the Neverglade Collector.
I'll cut my name into ya.
Let's do this.
So what? I mean, he can't like Riptide Rex. What could I even enabled with Plunder? I'm not sure. I'm gonna develop Elise here.
Come closer.
I don't bite.
Bite.
I rarely forget. I never forget.
That's fine. I could just play the cask salesman here. It doesn't really accomplish that much though. I think I'm gonna carry over the spell mana instead. Okay.
We could use a bite.
Crying won't do any good.
Alright.
You dare!
Let's make a deal.
I'm gonna play the used Skax salesman here. I'm gonna see if I can race him this way.
You break it, you buy it.
Took a wrong turn, didn't you?
Yes, 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 yes. Gonna block like this. Yep. This should trigger this, and that should kill, yep. So we do it like this. We have priority, which means we do booyah. GG. Too fast for you. Sneaky kill. The power of stalking shadows, baby, with all these engines. I love it. God damn, this session was fire though. That was fire. We climbed and everything. Oh my lord. Alright, that'll do it, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some Snapvines. Try out the deck. It's super fun, and it is actually pretty damn good. The vengeances are pretty important because you do need some sort of interaction with the opponent. But I really, really like the core concept. We do obviously aim to win with Overgrown Snapvine, but what I really like about this deck is that it doesn't need to draw Snapvines to win. Prankster plus Collector is also an alternate win condition, and so is Professor Von YIPP with Elise and all the cards. I love that a lot of these cards that synergize with Snapvines also happen to synergize with Von YIPP, and that's what really keeps this deck together and makes it flow and consistent. So, very, very proud of this creation. It's one of my, honestly, I think it's one of the coolest decks I've ever made. You know, like, not saying I make it the coolest decks, but out of everything that I've built personally, this is something that I'm particularly proud of. And I was very excited to share with you guys the upgraded version after we saw the buff to Overgrown Snapvine. So try it out, have fun, enjoy it, let me know what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow with more.